Buongiorno a tutti. We're back in my little kitchen here in Lecce in the south of Italy. My name's Francesco and today I'm going to show you how to make another great pasta dish. Today I'm going to be using fresh artichoke and fava beans. The artichokes are going out of season, the fava beans are coming into season, so this is a great way to bring them both together in one dish. I'm also going to make some crispy breadcrumbs, what we call moudica in Sicily. They're going to be flavoured with some anchovies, some Parmesan cheese and a pinch of sugar, which sounds weird but tastes great. And it's going to be a great simple pasta dish that's going to be made in about 20 minutes in all. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below and do subscribe to the channel. Come back and follow me for more. Let's cook. For today's recipe you are going to need your pasta of choice, I'm using linguine, fresh fava beans, artichoke, breadcrumbs, grated pecorino, anchovies in oil, chili and garlic. The first thing we need to do is to shell the fava beans. This part of the prep work is kind of fun. The next thing we're going to do is to remove the outer skin from each individual bean. This may seem like a lot of work and it may seem unnecessary, but it makes for a much superior eating experience. The beans taste much sweeter. You can leave those skins on if you're going to make a soup, but for a pasta or risotto, I recommend you go the extra mile. It's really not that much work. Now that the beans are done, the next thing we need to do is to prepare the artichoke. Remove the outer leaves, trim the base a little, cut away the top, tough part of the leaves, and then cut the remaining artichoke into quarters so you can easily remove the choke with one clean cut, like so. Then take each quarter and cut it into 3 or 4 slices. Add these to the beans and then we can go over to our saucepan where we have our water boiling, and we're going to add a good pinch of salt and cook the beans and the artichokes for 10 minutes. Whilst the artichokes and beans simmer away, we can get busy preparing the breadcrumbs. For this we're going to need an anchovy and plenty of the oil that it comes with, which we're going to heat up slowly, and at a certain point you'll find that when you touch it with your spoon, it slowly begins to fall apart like this. It will literally dissolve into the oil. Make sure to break it up into very small pieces, and when the oil starts to splutter and get very agitated, that's time to add the breadcrumbs. Stir the breadcrumbs in well so that they absorb all of the oil, and keep stirring them briskly so that they begin to toast evenly. After a while we can add about a tablespoon of finely grated pecorino cheese. Stir this in well, be quick so that you don't get any large lumps. As soon as the cheese is mixed in well, add a little pinch of sugar, stir that in too, turn off the heat and continue stirring until the breadcrumbs become a lovely golden brown. At this point, we can remove the fava beans and the artichoke from the water, set them to one side, and add our pasta. In this case, it was linguine. You need to cook your pasta for 2 or 3 minutes less than the time stated on the packet. Stir it in well, let it bubble away, and in the meantime, we're going to add a little more of the oil in which the anchovies were, add a clove of garlic, and if you like a little bit of heat, add some chili at this point. I decided to cut mine freehand straight into the pan, like so. Let the oil heat up quite slowly so as not to burn the garlic or the chili, and when it starts to splutter like this, we can give it a swirl around the pan and then add the beans and the artichoke slices. Stir fry these together for 3 or 4 minutes until the pasta is done, just so that they pick up the flavour of the garlic and the chilli. When the pasta is still very al dente, add it to the frying pan and then add a little of the cooking water, and you've seen me do this before. Continue cooking the pasta and the ingredients together in the frying pan so that it absorbs all of the good flavours. Keep stirring and tossing and adding a little of the cooking water at a time so that the starch in the pasta works its magic and makes it become nice and creamy all by itself. At this point, we can also remove that clove of garlic, which has done its work by now. Everything is nicely perfumed. Keep stirring or tossing the pasta continuously so that it gives off as much starch as possible. We want this to mix in with some of the water to make the pasta go nice and creamy. Once the pasta is done and you have a nice ladle full of water left over at the bottom of the pan, turn off the heat and add a good sprinkle of finely grated pecorino. We're going to stir this in or give it a toss, and that's what's going to make the pasta nice and creamy before it's ready to serve. This is where the first part of the magic happens. Now we're ready to serve up the pasta, and then the real magic is going to happen when we bring everything together. First we'll lay out the pasta, then we're going to spoon all of those lovely beans and artichokes over the top, and then the final finishing touch, which is the real magic of this dish, is the crunchy and delicious moudica, those golden crispy breadcrumbs with anchovy, pecorino cheese and sugar. It's an absolute delight. Buon appetito!